koli koloho. Every step one will come and put some doubt, objection. No, this can't be. In such age, the most simple way, simple means to be devised for the ordinary person to get out of this entanglement and to go to the highest attainment. So it was settled that only through sound, only through sound. Sound should be the vehicle. Sound should be the means to attain our end. And that sound must be genuine sounds of the Brahma. Vaikuntha sound. Sound, that vibration which produces sound, that must be, that must come down, that must be taken down here in this brain. And with the help of that sound, one will be able to arrive to that highest height.
Govinda, Govinda.
Dandavata, Guru Maharaj, open the Zoom.
Zoom is open and you're early and on time. I'm very impressed. Okay, and very happy to know that Haley is there. And we know Shanti Moy is in Rome, I think. We heard a little rumor.
Yeah, please.
And Rasa Ratidiri, she is there. Wonderful. So the family together, and of course, Krishna Kanta Devi Rasi, Munindra Mohan Prabhu, Dandavat, Dandavat, and
Only
our
us,
host,
you're
Madhurananda Prabhu. Yes, so you are the host. I'm just saying I'm here and at your service.
Where are you in the world?
South Lenasia Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Ashram near Johannesburg, South Africa. Okay, now you know.
Okay, is Paramananda also with you?
He's going to be with me. He's in the evening program. We've been running the evening program and we have some guests. And so he's going to join us soon. And I saw that Madhurananda Prabhu put a special, I did the translation. He put maybe special guest or something like this for Paramananda Prabhu. So I did tell him, okay, they volunteered you as a special guest. He's happy to come and he will be with us.
Okay, I mute many people, sorry.
Well, you know how to change the settings so when they come in that everyone's muted. But that will be for next time. Krishna, Krishna.
Okay, also Chimoy, but Chimoy is in the video? Yes, he is. Okay.
Dandavas Chinmoy Prabhu.
Very good to see you.
Very good to see you. I've been hearing you also live leading Hari Haraya Nama Krishna and listening. I've been hearing you listening too to the morning program. And Haley also. Jai, feeling at home to be with you. Anyway, this is the Italian program. We've got Indu Baladevi Rasi with us. And we've got Anindita Ranjaya Shekhar Prabhu. And got Ram Ratan Prabhu. We've got Rasanan Prabhu in Moscow. Rasanan Prabhu. Flaminia. How are you doing, Flaminia? Please don't ask me how is my Italian. I'm in South Africa. Okay. And Shanti Moidiri with her backpack on, trekking somewhere. And Muni. There's a Muni and Muni Indra. So anyway, this is my baby introduction, just saying I'm here, but it is the Italian Zoom. And I'm assuming Madhurananda Prabhu is hiding away from the camera and beside the computer. Madhurananda Prabhu, Dandavat. Oh, Monica. Monica is with us too. Hare Krishna. Govinda, Govinda. Over to you. In
No, Maharaj, you are the guest, you are Paramananda, so question and answer. And we are only 3 your servants, so Madhurananda is doing puja, Krishnakanta is cooking. So it's not Everybody left, following you.
You abandon us.
No, not abandoned.
Maybe you could tell us about the
Yes.
travels. Oh, wait, no, Monica has her hand up.
Monica has a hand. She's put a digital hand. Monica, Hare Krishna.
Krishna. So I'm listening to the reading of the book in the morning, and I'm reading in the afternoon. I read before the part and then after. So it's 3 times, but there are something I really cannot understand. Please. Allora, one thing is of the former book, La ricerca amorevole del servitore perduta, where Maharaj speak about Radharani. And so I don't know if I understood. Radharani is not an expansion of Krishna. The first expansion of Krishna is Balarama, who is also Nityananda. Am I right?
Yes, essentially, yes, you are right.
And then Radharani is one of his energies, like marginal energy, external energy. No, what?
Srimati Radharani is his full energy. There is the energetic and the energy. But with our brains, we can't understand everything. And Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, and we hear from Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So these are our 3 principal, very recent gurus. They said we have puppy brains like puppies. And so we cannot understand everything about, or even slightly truly about the reality of Krishna, his energy, his expansions of his expansions, the creation, etc. So Krishna and Srimati Radharani are completely inseparable. She is his energy and he is the energetic. So heat and fire, light and the sun, all are inseparable. So it's not the same as like the sun and then another sun, but it's the sun and his energy.
Oh. And so the first expansion, Balarama,
Yes.
it's an expansion of Krishna from him. It's the first.
Yes, if you, Monica,
Together.
if you are God, just imagine for a moment and no longer, then you can do anything and you can make another one of you.
Oh, sure.
And you can make another one of you so that he will look after everything and you can just play and be happy.
Oh.
So if you were God, would you like to do that?
Sure, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ha già detto, per chi non ha capito la differenza tra Krishna e Balaram, diceva, se tu fossi Dio, puoi fare qualsiasi cosa, quindi creeresti un altro te che però fa tutto al tuo posto mentre tu ti diverti. E questo è Balaram, praticamente, è un altro sé da Krishna, il suo altro sé, che organizza tutto il gioco divino mentre Krishna si diverte, quindi serve Krishna mentre Krishna si diverte, e Radharani è la sua energia, diceva, come non puoi distinguere il sole dalla luce, dal calore, così è Krishna è il sole, Radharani è la luce, il calore, l'energia e l'energetico, quindi non sono divisibili in realtà, non sono un'unica cosa, ma uno è l'energetico, l'altro l'energia d'amore, l'energia principale. Poi Krishna ha tantissime altre energie, tra cui l'energia marginale, l'energia esterna, eccetera, ma Radharani e la sua particolare energia d'amore.
And so now, if you haven't already stopped, stop imagining that you're God.
Ah, already done. Okay.
Okay, good.
Quindi
Well
Maharaj
done.
diceva di immaginare per un attimo di essere Dio, ma non più di un attimo. Adesso smetti questa fantasia.
E poi invece ho un'altra domanda che oltre che a Maharaj è rivolta anche a Krishna Kanta, perché d'altronde sei tu che stai leggendo l'evoluzione soggettiva della coscienza e io ho già riletto quella parte almeno 6 volte, ma capisco, non so, mi sembra di avere il cervello bloccato, non so, non riesco a capire
Quale
questa cosa
parte?
del pianeta Rao cioè il soggetto, tutto ciò che è soggettivo è riferito a Krishna e l'oggettivo è riferito a noi.
Proprio oggi stavamo dicendo che ogni volta che ascoltiamo questa filosofia ci sembra di capirla mentre la leggiamo, ma poi se dobbiamo ripeterla veramente è dura, è difficile, molto difficile.
Continua a sfuggire, ci sembra di capirla, poi dopo dici, ma cos'è che hai detto? Quindi non ti
Sì,
preoccupare.
che
Però
ogni cosa...
sì, quel concetto che esprime lì, adesso non so se riesco a esprimerlo, però perché nel Bhagavatam viene spiegato che Rahu divora il sole o
Mhm.
la luna quando c'è un'eclissi, no? Allora c'era
Sì.
questo discepolo che ridicolizzava questa idea.
Mhm.
E il Guru Maharaj invece dice non si può prendere alla leggera quello che c'è scritto nel Bhagavatam, deve essere vero. E quindi da che punto di vista è vero? Allora fa l'esempio che è come l'anima, che è pura coscienza. Praticamente l'esempio che è questo, che l'anima viene a percepire la materia, che invece è pura ignoranza, è inerte. Allora, non è che può in un attimo saltare a concepire la materia, entrare nella materia in un attimo, ma ci deve essere una fase intermedia, un passaggio intermedio, in cui la coscienza inizia praticamente a contaminarsi, a offuscarsi. E questo offuscamento, questa è l'ombra del vero sé, per poter poi percepire la materia. Quindi paragona Rahu a quest'ombra, quando l'anima viene a contattare la materia, c'è questo stadio d'ombra che si chiama Chitta-bhasa, è uno stadio diciamo, di vaga coscienza, lo definisce. E questo l'esempio che fa. Non so se è più chiaro adesso o no.
Sì, poi lo
Poi viene spiegato
leggerò.
di più che questo Ciddabasa praticamente quello scienziato chiede ma cos'è Ciddabasa e il Guru Maharaj dice qualcosa come la mente. Quindi la mente, sappiamo no, quanto è anche importante nello yoga pulire lo specchio della mente, purificare la mente, perché appunto è questo stato confuso, questo stato vago del sé. E infatti in Occidente molti confondono il sé con la mente, perché non è facile distinguere la mente dalla coscienza, quindi lo spirito dalla materia, però nelle scritture vediche, nella Bhagavad Gita, viene spiegato come la mente in realtà è materia già però più sottile, più rarefatta. E, e quindi la coscienza passa attraverso di quello. Quindi quando l'anima viene nel mondo materiale, viene descritto anche nella Brahma Samhita, praticamente viene attratta da Maya Devi. E Maya Devi subito, non appena l'anima si rivolta, volge la schiena, diciamo, tra virgolette, a Dio, alla luce del mondo spirituale e si rivolge verso le tenebre, verso Maya, attratta da questo fascino, da questa energia potente, subito Maya la riveste di un falso ego, cioè una falsa identità, un'intelligenza, una mente, poi i sensi e il corpo grossolano. Quindi questa è l'evoluzione verso il basso, il degrado, no? Della coscienza nel mondo materiale. mentre invece l'anima può invece elevarsi ed entrare invece nel piano spirituale e rivestirsi invece di un corpo spirituale se utilizza, non c'è la mente ancora in quello stadio, però l'intuito la conduce verso, viene attratta dalla luce, no? Invece una piccola parte di anime sfortunate è attratta dall'ombra, dal riflesso di quel mondo e cade qui, come siamo noi. E questa è la Tatashta Shakti, no? Che viene coperta dalla Maya Shakti.
Infatti c'è Flaminia che dice: Can we consider the mind as a software that interfaces soul with matter? Ecco che dice qua
Sì,
nella chat.
Raj, you wanna answer this?
Well, actually, I have an associate here who's very happy seeing all of you. Paramanandru has arrived.
Okay.
And so he saw the question just now also, and he made a very wonderful answer. Actually, devotees have all come together. Please let us give our obeisances. We do feel like we're all together. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuya eva cha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So Flaminia, I can pass over what a joy, she said. Yes, correct, Flaminia, it is a joy. And yes, so I'm passing over your question to Paramanandru. He's already rehearsed his answer.
Well, I just answered to Marsdandas, everyone. Happy to see everybody. I just answered that I have no clue how software functioning. I'm an old school kind of guy. I still go to the bank to withdraw the money. But what I was thinking, actually, I had a friend, a good friend, who would always, sometimes different people would ask different questions. And then sometime he would answer thoughtfully. He would say, how will that help you in the moment of death? That would be his answer.
Anche Andrea è collegato.
Sì. Krishna Saki, scusa, puoi mutolirti? Scusa.
Scusate, devoti.
Ramananda diceva che aveva un amico che quando gli facevano le domande spesso rispondeva: in che modo questo ti aiuterà sul punto di morte? La risposta a questa domanda.
So,
Ok, Paramananda.
in the light of that answer, perhaps we can move to another question.
No, prima diceva che non sa niente di computer, di software, quindi non può rispondere magari.
But I can just guess, please forgive my poor knowledge about computers, softwares, and hardwares. I really know very little about it. As you know, I deal with antiques. And in the 100 years ago, there were no computers, so I really have no clue how they work. It's all achinti to me. It's inconceivable. But I can just guess, just taking a wild guess, that since the body is described in Vedas as yantra, a mechanism, it will have some kind of a software to function, to analyze what is favorable for the body, what is unfavorable for the body. That will enable you to feel pain, emotions, and all of that. So certainly, you may compare a mind to a software of a computer, but way more sophisticated, because that was created by the Lord himself. And a software of the computer is a product of a human mind. So we can guess it's just a very sophisticated software. And there's so many different descriptions from the Bhagavad Gita, from the Vedic scriptures, about the mind. And one of them is that a mind, we should use mind properly in order to progress not to degrade. And Krishna stresses the point. He's saying a mind can be your best friend, and it can also be your worst enemy. So another thing to consider, and the whole of the Bhagavad Gita and all of the Vedic Shastras are talking about how to make our mind our friend.
Okay.
Yes, I guess you need to translate it.
Very nice. Yes, one in the line of this thought that every discussion should be conducted in the perspective, oh, this is the last thing we tell, and then tomorrow we die, so must be very important. So it remind me when Gurudev talk about this, when the soul leave the body, and the astral body, the mental body, you are in the mental body, and so the mind, with the speed of the mind, you can think many things. And for example, you think a beautiful flower, immediately beautiful flower, beautiful garden appear in front of you. But then, depend on your consciousness, if you see this flower you want to offer to Krishna, or see this flower, you just, very nice, and you consume. So according to this type of reaction in front of something, you will be carried by nice breeze towards superior planet, or you will throw again in the material plane. So this is the mind. The mind can provide many things, but which way we use this mind, we have to control with the spiritual intelligence. So now I speak English. I tell in Italian this again. Non lo so se è un software, un hardware o quello che è, però quello che è molto importante capire è che, come ha detto Paramananda, la mente può essere il nostro miglior amico e il nostro peggior nemico, perché tutti i desideri nascono nella mente, ma poi a un certo punto, se dovessimo lasciare il corpo adesso, questi desideri diventano disponibili, perché col corpo astrale ogni cosa diventa disponibile. Quando siamo senza corpo siamo come fantasmi. È tutto, se pensiamo a un fiore bellissimo, come dice Govinda Maharaj nel suo libro Verità Rivelata, questo fiore appare davanti a noi, perché se non c'è barriere fisiche non ci sono limiti, quindi pensando a un fiore, il fiore appare davanti a noi. Però a questo punto cosa facciamo con questo fiore? Se noi siamo stati abituati a offrire ogni cosa a Krishna, automaticamente lo offriamo a Krishna anche in quella forma di fantasma, in quella forma di corpo astrale che siamo, tra la morte e la nascita futura. E così saremo condotti con una bella brezza favorevole verso i pianeti superiori del servizio. Altrimenti, se vedendo quel fiore lo vorremmo consumare come qualsiasi altra cosa, saremo scagliati di nuovo nell'utero di una qualche specie umana o animale e prenderemo un'altra nascita. Just that.
And we shouldn't be too calculating about the mind or with the mind. After all, we all have personality. We are not robots. By the way, in South Africa, I kept on not understanding sometimes the conversation when we're driving. They call traffic lights robots. I mean, that's just the term for traffic light. So, complete side point. But the children were saying, "Oh, we were held up at the robots." I couldn't understand because they're held up by the robots, but they were held up by the traffic lights. Anyway, about the mind, we have personalities, and actually the guidance of the scripture is all trying to wake up our personality, but not our mundane personality and the mind of accepting and rejecting material things. But we are getting now advice to accept spiritual things and reject the whole material plane of I like, I don't like, I like, I don't like. So personality is inside, and everybody knows personality is so valuable. And so we need to try to cross out of the plane of too much, seeing the calculative side of things and more coming to the heart side of things. This is, I can also mention in this context, because software doesn't have a heart. In fact, we know it can be very heartless sometimes.
Anindita has a hand lifted since long time. Must be anchilosata.
Since a long time,
Anindita.
Prabhu?
Anindita lift the head.
I have a question. Anindita has a question.
Very good.
My obeisance, Maharaj, to you and Paramananda Prabhu, Dandavate and all the devotees. And la faccio in italiano, era una domanda che già avevo e che poi sentendo Monica anche me l'ha portata avanti, perché in realtà più che una domanda è una riflessione. Perché noi sappiamo che la devozione, l'attitudine devozionale è superiore alla conoscenza. Quindi l'attitudine della devozione è superiore alla conoscenza. Infatti nella Bhagavad Gita, la fine della Bhagavad Gita si chiude con il verso Sarva Dharma Paritejam Mamekam Saranam Vraja. Noi non dobbiamo abbandonare qualsiasi atteggiamento per cercare, non dobbiamo capire tutto, dobbiamo lasciarci andare col cuore, e quello è Sarva Dharma Parityaja. Però tuttavia studiare le scritture, tante persone quando noi predichiamo ci chiedono che cosa studiamo, cercano di approfondire le scritture, e quindi avere un minimo di conoscenza delle scritture è importante. E qui, come ci insegnano anche i nostri acharya, ce le hanno portate a noi. E quindi come riuscire a dare il cuore alle persone invece delle scritture, di non raccontare cose molto elevate che non sono comprensibili a noi stessi e neanche alle persone, e cercare di dare il cuore della devozione. Questo è un consiglio che chiedo a Paramananda, come dare il cuore, come dare la devozione.
You can translate in English.
This is for Paramananda. How do you give devotion? How do you yeah, how do you give devotion to people? Touch their heart.
That was a very, very long question and a very short.
I shortened it a little bit.
How do you give devotion, or how do you get devotion?
Give that feeling, like you're hearing from the scriptures, you're saying knowledge is important, but consciousness is above knowledge, and devotion is above that. But you can tell people about the scriptures, about Krishna, about these unbelievable things, but how do you
I see.
that devotional feeling to others?
Well, to give devotion, you have to possess it. You cannot give something you don't have. But a devotee will never admit they have devotion. And once it happened to me when Govinda Maharaj told me that you're saying that you didn't get anything. Are you implying that I'm a bad spiritual master? Am I not qualified? That you didn't get at least something during all these years in association with me? So we have to admit that we got something. But what we got is the wealth of our divine guardians. And what we're sharing with people is something that actually inspires us. Something we draw inspiration from. So it's very simple to give. You just share sincerely what inspires you the most. And then people will feel that. I mean, I had so many experiences in that field when you're just sharing something that touched your heart, something that keeps you going, something that keeps you alive, basically, on your path. And it touches the hearts of people.
Translation.
In a way, oh yes, translation.
Vabbè, in pratica dice che devi, per ispirare le persone, cioè quello che devi condividere non è tanto appunto un bagaglio di conoscenze, ma è quello che ti ispira, quello che diciamo sempre, quello che ti ispira, quello che ti aiuta te ad andare avanti, quello è quello che devi condividere, quello che ispira te. Non puoi dare la devozione a qualcuno se tu stesso non ce l'hai, però allo stesso tempo una volta Gurudev, lui gli aveva detto, non ho, Ramananda diceva, non ho niente da dare, no? Allora vuol dire che non hai ricevuto niente in tutti questi anni, vuol dire che sono un cattivo insegnante, non sono stato in grado di darti niente, questo mi stai dicendo. E quindi cerchiamo di condividere quello che ci ispira a noi, che abbiamo ricevuto dai nostri maestri. Yes?
You can do in 3 words, just like Chinmoy just did. But why, and indeed, why were you quoting a verse from Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadharma Paritijam?
Because she was saying that we read that knowledge is not so important, that the heart is above that, devotion is more important. And then Krishna also say, abandon everything, just surrender to me. But so it's always this question also, at the same time, we do study the scriptures, we read the scriptures, but then when we preach, if we are gonna tell complicated things to people or like...
This is the reason, because sometimes we, sorry for my very bad English, sometimes we're...
That means that Chinmay is not teaching you anything.
I'm the teacher.
That means that Chinmay is not teaching you proper English.
Chinmay is my favorite teacher. Yes.
Well, I have to say, from my
I
side,
try, but I am a bad, come si dice, scolaro.
Student.
Student. Oh, a bad student.
when an Italian person speaks English,
Yes.
it's just beautiful.
No. Okay.
On any level.
I try to explain what I in my mind I want to explain that, because sometimes we want to explain to the people. Many people come to us for try to understand something for the scriptures. Many people knows the Brahma Samhita, some Upanishad, sometimes, but we wanted to give her loro his the real feeling, the devotional feeling. That I don't want to, I don't to want to know who is Brahma and Shiva and Indra. For me is more simple. More simple. I know devotees, and I know Guru Maharaj. I know my Maharaj, my Gurudev, and this is the heart. My heart is this, and
I just remember the title of a book compiled by Siddhanti Maharaj called Religion of the Heart. And I think in that title of the book is your answer. We are the religion of the heart. We're aspiring for a plane of beauty and sweetness, where knowledge, it is described, a knowledge is standing there with folded hands, wanting to serve, but services are not so required. But the knowledge, embodied knowledge, personified knowledge, is aspiring to serve on that plane. So really, we have to think that way. And if you remember yourself and each one of us, how did we decided to follow this path? How did we come in contact with the devotees? What inspired us? Obviously, we were not inspired by endless recitation of Brahma Samhita or some Vedic hymns or explanation of deep philosophy, and certainly not understanding how the creation happened and all the quadruple expansions and expansion of the quadruple expansions and all of that. I mean, I haven't met anybody who was inspired by that. But what we got inspired is the heartfelt interactions. So devotees that possess that, the glimpses and they possess that capacity, somehow that highest world imprinted on them. And it's unexplainable. That's why we're always hearing heart-to-heart transactions. Cannot be explained, cannot be understood with our mind, cannot be analyzed by our senses, cannot be analyzed even with the help of intelligence. We just need to accept that something more wonderful touching our heart, and it just inspires us to step on this path and to follow this path. And that includes so many different things. When we come, we see wonderful people, we taste wonderful food, we hear wonderful things, even sometimes we don't understand, but it's a beautiful sound vibration. And Hare Krishna Mahamantra, don't forget that. Krishna is all attractive. We keep forgetting that he is all attractive, and Krishna means all attractive. So do not forget that point. He is also attracting us. And it's the age of Mahaprabhu, when the ocean of prema is still wildly available, and the current of devotion is still very much alive and flowing. And again, how does it flow? Through the hearts of the Vaishnavas. You want me to explain the techniques of it, the software and hardware of it? It's not possible. It is the part of the Achintya world, inconceivable world that cannot be approached with mind and senses. We were quoting this verse from Srila Rupa Goswami, Atakshri Krishna Namadina Bhavet Grahyam Indriyai. The glories of Krishna's name, the glories of his pastimes, his qualities cannot be analyzed or understood with the mere use of your senses. Whatever you equipped, whatever is included in your hardware, the human body, impossible to do so. Only if Krishna decides to reveal himself to you by any means, and trust me, he's got lots of infinite possibilities of how he would reveal himself to you. You will not understand, and you will not get that inspiration. So the power of association with the devotees, not the knowledge itself. Srila Govinda Maharaj used to say that for practicing Krishna consciousness, it is not necessary to study Shastra. It's a recorded version of his talk, and it's in Absolute Sweetness. You can listen to that. He actually says that. And he said the only devotees who may study Shastras are those who engage in very active preaching in order to protect and establish the prestige of the line. I've been talking, and I think Krishna Kanti can just summarize it in 3 words.
I understand that actually Anindita speaks very good English. She can understand by the grace of the teacher.
Also, Jai Shekhar Prabhu speaks good English by association. He understands. I can just say one thing, that on this whole idea that like transmission of Krishna consciousness, just before, as we do, and as you know we do, we try to listen to Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, from time to time. We're not listening every day in the program in the temple. But this evening we were listening to Guru Maharaj. And whatever we listen to, whatever we read, it's always the best, correct? Does anybody have that experience? Well, this is Srila Guru Maharaj, very much in transmitting mode. And you just hear and see at the very beginning, by the way, before it was 6:30 there in Italy, then I was happy to see that the Zoom was already on. So some of you heard part of Srila Guru Maharaj speaking at that time before 6:30. But here, just listen. Doesn't matter if you really don't understand anything. Just hear Guru Maharaj. This is Guru Maharaj Srila Bhakti Rakak Srila Dev Goswami Maharaj. I hope, and I'm sure you understand who it is, but just for clarification. So just here, I'm not going to play a lot, but sometimes this can just solve everything to hear Guru Maharaj. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Oh no, oh.
Objection is not very easily possible. We can pass here. Koli koloho. Every step one will come and put some doubt, objection. No, that can't be. In such age, the most simple way, simple means to be devised for the ordinary person to get out of this entanglement and to.
So first of all, Srila Gurudev, he's been explaining about Kali Yuga and about all the difficulties that are here. There's always obstacles in front of us. And then there's so much difficulty in Kali Yuga. Then here he's saying about the most simple means must be devised for this age to help everyone get out from this difficulty. So that's just setting the scene. I don't want to interrupt because I do want you to hear, because it just felt to me so much. Srila Guru Maharaj, he's going to build up a little bit to like point out the message of Mahaprabhu and its greatest value.
The ordinary person to get out of this entanglement and to go to the highest attainment. So it was settled that only through sound, sound should be the vehicle, sound should be the means to attain our end. And that sound must be genuine sound of the Brahma. Vaikuntha sound. Sound, that vibration which produces sound, that must be, that must come down, that must be taken down here in this frame. And with the help of that sound, one will be able to arrive to that highest height. This one. And the sound will be such that the other defects of environment may not delay or destroy its progress. The Vaikuntha, so it's genuine sound, which will represent the highest truth that should be given to one and all liberally as far as possible.
And Srila Gurudev goes on to mention, Srila Guru Maharaj goes on to mention that the general people will think, but we are working so hard for some small gain, for a roof over our heads, some food in our mouth. We're working so hard for some small gain. How can it be that just through sound we can go to the highest plane? And even Guru Maharaj saying that the general public, they will think it's ludicrous. But all of you, all of us here, thankfully, we don't think it's ludicrous. By some injection of grace being transmitted heart to heart from our masters, whether by the writing or by the hearing through the devotees, that's come to make it clear to us, it's not ludicrous. The highest, sweetest land described by our masters is achievable through that Shabda Brahma, the sound which has come from the pure plane. And this is the descent of the holy name. And so anyway,
but that's just perfect, Mark.
We were hearing this, and so it's the best ever. So just wanted to share a little bit of that with you all.
and so many examples of that. It's not just Guru Maharaj is giving you some theory. Quite a few of who is present right now can be a testament to that. And I know some people, just in front of me it happened. I was playing Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada tape in the car while I'm driving a friend of mine who had no idea about Krishna consciousness whatsoever. And I don't really, preach sometimes to people who are not asking anything, but I'm just playing the tape. And then she went quiet and I'm just focusing on the road. And I turned and I saw she was wet with tears. She couldn't hold it. And she asked me only one thing. She said, who is that person who is singing? I said, oh, this is a great saint. I know he is saint. I can feel it. And that impacted just this moment, like 15 minutes maybe of hearing Srila Prabhupada impacted her so much that she is still in touch and she is still, trying to step on that path. And I know another devotee who was just going to a grocery store and then she heard some carousels and then she was attracted by the vibration of the carousels, but then she got closer and then she heard Harinam. And that was it, she was done. She never made it to the grocery store. Until this day, she's a happy devotee who is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. So we just keep forgetting. We think that people have to be attracted by some other means. Not Krishna conscious, not like Krishna, not Krishna Nam. But why then Mahaprabhu, when he is appointing Srila Rupa Goswami as his successor, all the wealth, that great ocean of prema, everything Mahaprabhu came to give is given to Rupa Goswami. So what is the first verse that he is asking him to recite in the presence of all these dignitaries, all those saintly personalities who assembled with Mahaprabhu as the head of the assembly? And he's asking Rupa, chant, give them that verse that melted my heart. And then he's chanting this beautiful verse, Tunde Tundavini Ratayate Vitanate Tundavali Labtaye Karna Krodha Kadambini Gatayate Sarva Udevyus Priha Chetta Prangana Sangini Gatayate Sarvendriyani Kritim Najane Janita Kyabdramrita Krishneti Varnadvai. And the verses, no one can understand and no one can describe how much sweetness, how much attraction and beauty is in these two syllables. Krishna. When it enters your ear, you desire millions of ears. When it enters the courtyard, it's a beautiful description, courtyard of your heart and starts dancing there, then your mind stops functioning, your senses stop functioning. They're defeated by the power of the holy name. All we need to do, like Guru Maharaj said, is sincerely hanker that, nothing else. So Krishna consciousness is very simple. So don't need to devise anything crafty. And we can do so many different things, but really, what attracted all the people I know who got attracted by Krishna consciousness, they came through either association with the devotees, prasadam, or holy name, the sound vibration of the holy name. Just my little input.
And by the way, about the glories of the holy name and Mahaprabhu's message to us, his own composition, as it were, then there in villagovinda.ashram, then when we were coming towards completing the last time, now it's running again, but the last time we were coming towards completing the reading of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, there in the later part of the Antya Leela, the last part of Mahaprabhu's pastimes, when Mahaprabhu is in complete ecstasy, in the highest plane of ecstasy in the holy name, with the symptoms that have never been described before, like in extreme position of love, union in separation, love of God, everything, whatever we may say, Krishna Prema. That's when he gave the Shikshastakam prayers. Those 8 verses, Cheto Dapanam Majanam Bhava, Maha Davagni Nirvapanam, etc. And So when we are coming to appreciate the holy name and what is in the holy name and what is in this life of devotion, then those 8 verses, they are so important for us. This is the month of Kartik, which is, as you know, Radharani's month, a very special month. And so these verses, Srila Guru Maharaj gave that we will recite these verses each day during the month of Kartik and sing the songs of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, expanding the verses and explaining them. But it was in Villagovinda, this last reading, that, I mean, we've read before, several times or a few times fully, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, but this time, this jumped out at me, that Shikshastakam, that we kind of think, oh, Mahaprabhu gave 8 verses. It's not. He sat down, and composed 8 verses and wrote it down and did a spell check and everything else on the computer. But when he was in the greatest ecstasy, these verses came out. And so it is so good to go through these verses again and again. And this is our daily practice in the mat, in the month of Kartik. And we hear that example of by grinding sandalwood, the more you grind, the more fragrance comes out. So this is also very helpful for us to understand. And that isn't, those 8 verses, is nothing of analysis there, except analysis of our misfortune and explanation of the fortune of chanting the holy name, and analysis a bit of our own misfortune. And then, a flow of, we get a hint of the flow of the ecstasy that is there in that topmost world. And I'd love to keep playing this audio of Srila Guru Maharaj, by the way, because we want to be devotees and we want to chant the holy name. Now I think I'll be a devotee. Now I think I'll try to chant the holy name. After hearing Srila Guru Maharaj's talk, we can say this evening, because it's evening, we're playing it in the evening program for the devotees to hear. And by the way, sometimes we are going, and this, in this last time, then we're going and we're playing some audio part, and I'm a little sad when devotees who've been devotees for a while don't know Guru Maharaj's voice and Gurudev's voice. So please know Guru Maharaj's voice and Gurudev's voice. It's them. Hare Krishna. We may have strayed from the question. But we're with you this week. He and I. No, we didn't. We're there on the phone. But us two, we are here this week with no Italian. But I did read or translate. I use Google Translate. I am sorry, to see what Madhuranandru had written for the title. And Paramanandru, that's the first we knew that he was the special guest. So I informed him. He said, oh, okay. Happily, I'll come. But we're here with you this week. It's not practical for us to be with you, at least for the next couple of weeks or so. So we're here today, a little bit over-Englished for the Italian meeting, but maybe we'll be quiet now and you can continue in Italian. Hey, we're doing our part, we're being quiet. Now you do your part and speak in Italian.
Ma Anindita, hai la mano sollevata da prima o una nuova domanda?
No, non riesco, non lo so, non sono capace di tirarla giù. È quella di prima.
I think Monica had some more question because she was saying from the loving search for the lost servant, and then Monica, did you have a question from Subjective Evolution, the book that they've started to read?
Ciao.
Yes, it's a second question because I already asked one question about subjective evolution. And I had a second question, but perhaps I understood, but maybe I have to tell you and see if I really understood that the Rishi the Rishi says that everything you find is not an object, but they consider this object a person. Did I translate?
Yes,
enough?
good. No,
Okay.
perfect. Yes, we understand, and we understand Srila Guru Maharaj expressing this also. Yes. So now you understand?
I think the objects to be here in this material world have to be conscious from the spiritual world, and to be here it means that they come from the spiritual world, and so they have their own consciousness, and so the Rishi consider everything like a person.
Okay, so Monica, this question will probably take more than 3 words to clarify the origin of matter, the origin of the soul, and the pure spiritual world, where there is no misconception and no haziness about what is life. A Chaitan, fully conscious, fully ecstatic as a devotee of Krishna. Now, everything else, I mean, if we only have a few moments to address this, but everything which is not devotion to the Lord or related to the Lord, like we're doing things consciously for the Lord, everything that is not that is illusion. If we think anything is separate from the Lord, or it is for me, then it is illusion. And so the rishis, they see everything everything is for the Lord. And so with such clear vision, then they see the conscious aspect of which is behind everything. And if there is no, just don't explode your brain and go to the emergency ward of the hospital, but just try to understand that if there is no consciousness, there is no stone. So, okay, now you still survived, you haven't gone to the hospital. So you can go one step more, that there is nothing separate from Krishna, and Krishna is only consciousness, nothing about dull matter. So anyhow, there's a big jump between those 2 statements. But again, this is a little bit of analysis. When the truth is revealed to you, you will also see in that way. And you will, and now our Guru Maharaj said that we are sitting in the same class as Lord Brahma. So somehow or another, we've come into this lecture theater. You probably went to university where, you've got a class and so many people are sitting. So we may be sitting on Zoom, but we're actually sitting in the same class with the great souls who are searching for reality, the beautiful. They are searching for reality separated from illusion. And the conclusion is coming that will come to us when we can be a dedicating unit for the satisfaction of the Lord. And when he accepts us, we may want to do that, we may try to do that, but when he accepts us as his dedicating unit, then we will be given from above that grace to join our home. And this is all taking place through, especially in Kali Yuga, the sound, that spiritual sound, the holy name of the Lord. And so knowledge of understanding different things, it's like a bit of a bait. You put bait on a fishing line to catch a fish, so that you catch what you want. So this is a bit like the bait that our mind wants a little analysis. But sooner or later, the analysis will be left aside and we'll just come and say, yes, I know I belong with you, Krishna. I know I should be putting you at the center and doing things only for your pleasure. I know it's the holy name, which is a connection, which the name is you yourself, especially in Kali Yuga, that there is no other way but the holy name. So, dear Lord, please let me come in touch with that Shabda Brahma, that sound which is purely spiritual. And this is actually the Nama, Hari Nama initiation, when the Lord is accepting the devotee, the aspiring devotee in the material world. When he sees our sincerity and accepts us, that is when we are starting our substantial journey, and we pray that we not only start, but that we remain in the association of the devotees and make that journey successful by carefully nurturing the holy name as given to us by the descending disciplic succession.
Thank you, Maharaj. Very, very inspiring. Because yes, I wanted to understand because of the importance of the books written by Maharaj. But
yes.
But in reality, I had understood, not understood. In Italian is I don't find the right word, but it doesn't matter. I understood that everything in this world is not mine, everything is Krishna. And so everything, even a stone, I have to treat the stone with respect, because it's not mine. I cannot use it in a bad way, no? So this was a thing that I come si dice?
Thinking about, considering.
Yes, I consider it. I understood in my heart. I really can feel that everything is here to serve Krishna, and I don't have to treat badly anything.
Beautiful. You belong in Goloka Vrindavan, Monica.
But I use things even to eat, and I don't think before what you said. Oh, Krishna, this is yours. I use it to offer to you. This is a thing that I don't. I still didn't. I still don't do in my daily life, and you let me understand that this is important, that the flower, I don't have to look at the flower and see how beautiful it is and smell the perfume, but I have to see the flower and think and to offer it to Krishna, but the flower belongs already to Krishna, and so I always say thank you, Krishna, that you let me see this beautiful flower and smell it. Is it something good or what? What
You
is
try to
the-
offer everything to Krishna. A child living at home, he goes to the garden belongs to his mother and father, but he picks some flowers and makes a little vase or
Okay.
American vase, takes it to them, to daddy and mommy, and say, "Oh, this is for you, I made this for you." It's their flowers, but the little boy, the little girl, the child has come, and the mother, father, their heart is softened. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, Monica, to be continued. But I see the time in Italy and here is the same fast time. And so we'll hand the microphone over back to Villagovinda. It's wonderful to sit in Villagovinda with you all, by the way, and to sit with you all the Zoom alls. We are all seated in Villagovinda during this time, and we can smell the fragrance. We can feel the temperature. We can everything we can kind of catch.
But we're missing Shanti.
But we're missing Shantima, but she's there in Rome. She's also in Villagovinda. And probably with Banavidadi too. She's probably sitting side by side, listening and keeping quiet. Okay, we'll sign out from here, but it's your Italian Zoom. We sort of took it over a bit. Sorry, everybody there. But now I'm not going to speak. Now I'm not going to speak anymore.
No, it's good.
Oh.
At least I'm not going to invite them.
We're happy to be invited. We'll be the quiet audience. Honestly, if you invite us again, we can be good. Honestly, we'll try.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you, Paramananda, and all the Vaishnavas for the beautiful conversation and question and answer. Very nice. And we are all nourished, but also we have to nourish a little bit our body with prasada now.
So do we.
So I think we end here, Maharaj, with
Yes, Prabhu, please.
your Vanchakalpa, please, you recite.
But we do want to hear you chant at least the first 4 verses of Hari Harai Nama Krishna. So we are going to stay for a short while. But Jai Saprika Shishi Guru Gauranga. Don't let me forget the name. They'll shoot me. I'll get banished from Villagovinda. Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandhava Gopinath Ju Ki Jai. Shri Giriraj Balagopal Ju Ki Jai. Shri villagovinda ashram Ki Jai. Or as Gurudev gave, Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Villagovinda Ki Jai. And wonderful Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Wonderful Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rockok Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Vaga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. All assembled devotees Ki Jai. Ananta Koటి Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Brinda Ki Jai. Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari. Jai Italian Zoom Ki Jai and all Italian Brinda Ki Jai.
Nice to see Haley there, safe and sound.
Yes, Haley, very nice. And by the way, we got a little very happy whisper. The devotees are all very happy with you. So be at home, chant Hare Krishna, make yourself useful, learn all sorts of devotional tricks. You're with the expert devotees there. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Okay, we won't interrupt anymore. Wonderful to see all of you devotees.
Jai Shri Bhakti Raja Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Paramananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Bhagavati Ki Jai. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama. Yadavaya Madhavaya Kesavaya Nama. Yadavaya Madhavaya Kesavaya Nama. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan. Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Grazie Devoti, Dandavat.
Grazie mille, grazie. Grazie. Dandavat.
Hare Krishna.